Hey everybody, this is Petey from the Spin Rack, and you looked at the front of this video. This video is an ode to my brother. I don't know if he wants his name out there, but we'll just go with his nickname, Cogswell, right? My brother is not, maybe he was a fan of Frank Miller. Sometimes of George Perez. Since I was a big fan of Byrne, I think there's only certain things of Byrne he liked, but he wasn't really that big a fan. So at the same time, why did I put this all here when it's not about what you saw in the thumbnail or in the video? The thing that these guys had in common, that they all went to Neil Adams, and they all didn't get necessarily, I guess George Perez got chastised and told him he's not ready at all, and figure out how to concentrate on penciling or inking, whatever you can do best. He said he wasn't ready for Marvel. He said you can't fake everything. Frank Miller, he told him to go back to Vermont, and then he gave him a job, got him a job at Gold Key. Then he saw the work and asked him to correct. Then he saw Byrne, and he said, "That's a good me, but what can you do?" Right? And then he showed us some things, and all three of these took that criticism and used it constructively. And the only one that went to him and came out with a job, a full-on recommend, was Bill Sienkiewicz, right? And the ode to my brother is having a hard time pronouncing the name. He changed the name to Sizwick, right? So, all right. So there we go. We're gonna do this book because the first book that they released got sold out in like 2 seconds. I think this and there's a couple other books that sold out like in 2 seconds. What other books sold out? The Artist Edition. I think it sold out in 2 seconds. The what's that thing called? The Rocketeer. I could only get the second printing, so I bought that as soon as I could. A few others have sold out. Probably the Byrne ones now. But this one's a good one to have because it's on great paper. I think the larger one would possibly be better because you can open it up wider. But the paper it's on, you get this Artisan Edition, right? So this is going to be really tough. So I'm going to try my best, right? We have Legion there, so you get to see his work. I am going from one to the other, so this is going to be really tough. Right, well, let's see how we can do it, right? So we got, this is Gabriel Heller. I think that is, no, that's either Legion's, the East Indian character, or Gabriel Heller. So they have stuff from New Mutants, Moon Knight, Elektra, Daredevil, and more. Some of the covers too, right? So we have the New Mutants, right? So this is gonna be tough because, unlike the Artist Edition, you don't always get to see the good split, but you got this stuff on really great paper, right? All right. We got Professor Xavier, and he's starting to use his legs again, right? The Demon Bear, all these cool techniques, and this idea of using, I forget the artist. If you see. There's a fine artist. You see his work, more photorealistic stuff. This is kind of ode to Neil Adams because there's a Ben Casey shot, and he used to do Ben Casey. This is not an exact shot from Neil, but there's a bear movie that he did, and this kind of an ode to that, and the whole style for the Demon Bear. So there's kind of this fine art / the childish type of thing, sort of the writing and the lettering, and some points. And you got, I can't say this is classic storytelling, but this in there, it's somewhere in there. And if you imagine this, when I was a huge fan of Byrne, and my brother was a big fan of Dave Cockrum and Bill Sienkiewicz, my brother would just kind of try to find new artists, and he'd be like, here's Steranko, this guy's better than... So this is just to give you some fun stuff of us bantering back and forth. To give you another bit is that to find out that Byrne was fans of the people that my brother liked better, like Bill Sienkiewicz and Dave Cockrum. It was like, I can't tell my brother or else he'll find that and use it against me, right? So we got this great page, the slumber party. It really gives that feel. The kids, really capture the regular kids. They got all these people that we would never see again at the slumber party, but it's good for the mood, right? And you see the faces that he gave these characters. Outside of Ileana could just be a tough character. I would just think it'd be easy to cast these guys because he has their faces here that you could use, and right? So sometimes when I describe stuff, I say it's like pretty pictures or going Steranko, and this would be that period where it's keeping some of the storytelling, but it's not stuck in, having to stay on total classic Marvel storytelling, right? He's just able to do sort of childlike stuff when he wants. He can do photorealistic, and then even his realism can kind of break down as far as the backgrounds and give you some mood, expressionism, some excluso, right? So this is almost in the child in me is saying this is admitting defeat, having the Bill Sienkiewicz thing here. If any of you guys get these things, you know the rivalry between brothers, right? But for some reason, I don't know when my brother stopped kind of reading comics regularly. So, but if you had the Artist Edition, you probably can see the whole picture. But especially when you see something from Moon Knight, right? So there's, what's the name? Cloak and Dagger show up. Another shot of the New Mutants and Warlock, right? And Gabriel Heller. This is where you're introduced that Xavier had an illegitimate child, a storyline that Byrne tried to keep out of the book, and that didn't happen, right? And when people complain about Bird Brain, like, look at Warlock. Like, come on. It's like you want to have characters that are less human. So you have a White Queen setup scene here. Warlock was just totally whacked out, and somehow Bird Brain gets hell for it. But get some shots here. So as a kid, when me and my brother were fighting over this stuff, there'd be shots like this one where I'd look and be like, I could look on my own, and then if my brother saw me reading this, it'd be like, oh, see you. So this is really show if he's actually still watching the show, because he watches the show regularly. And if this doesn't get him to watch, I don't know what will. But no, he regularly watches the show and comments. But I want to do that joke. And here's Magneto's new costume. People complained about John Romita Jr. put him in a new costume. Here it was. And I think either John Romita or Tom Morgan revised it or cleaned it up, right? And this is one of, Legion had 3 personalities, and he was going to be called Psycho. And Byrne went to Chris Claremont and said, don't call him Xavier's son Psycho, call him Legion, and say, and we are many. Like, The I Am Legion, we are men. He gave him that tagline. And then this is late in the run. This is right before he's about to leave. My brother would probably give you more critique if he was here on this. And they also had these pinup pages, right? At the end, now look at this. This stuff printed on the right paper. We need a re-release of the New Mutants on some good paper. Because this, for the covers, like, good Lord. This, like, look at these covers, right? I'm owning up, having to look at how great these covers are. Then we move on from this sketch, the heavyset comic, to Moon Knight. Now, Moon Knight was kind of Marvel saying, since nobody's doing Batman, excuse me, they would do it. So he was like, Batman's an old timer, and they were going to do their own Batman, right? So you always see Moon Knight kind of in the sky. This is early on. You can see, so this Moon Knight should actually be before the New Mutants, because you can see a progression of style of going from kind of keeping the kind of Neil Adams type of dynamic and slowly going to more expressionistic type of work, but no less great, right? So yeah, this is still in Neil Adams mode. Now Neil Adams, this is the premiere. This one right here, like the Hit It. This is where there's supposed to be a fill-in issue, and Doug Mensch was like, "Oh, I got a fill-in issue. It's great. I got a fill-in issue," and he didn't say it was great. He said, "I'm gonna, so you give you a break." He said, "Well, what's the story about?" "Oh, it's gonna be called Hit It, and it's gonna be." And he explained all this stuff, and Bill Sienkiewicz was like, "No, I got to do that story." So, we got Hit It. So if we had the artist edition, we could spread this. And I'm almost crazy enough to open it up and rip it apart myself, but I can't do it, not yet. But Hit It would be a great thing to put up on the wall. So, and it's kind of taking that Neil Adams X-Men panel and kind of turning it on 90 degrees, but finding a way to really work the panel to make it look amazing. And then we got this nice one here. We got the split, but in Moon Knight, the TV show should have had him like going through the air, right? So yeah, I don't know if I said it early, Bill Sienkiewicz went to see Neil Adams with his work and his portfolio, and he saw it, and he said, he called up Marvel, and he says, "I'm sending you guys an artist, give him some work." And I think that's the long and short of it, right? So, this same time, Byrne was doing Fantastic Four, Miller was doing Daredevil, Perez is doing, what's that thing? The New Teen Titans. You had Cockrum and Paul Smith on the X-Men. Walter Simonson it was like a great period for Marvel, right? Marvel was really, the top of the line. They also had the fan favorite book, the Secret Wars, which I'm not a fan of. So now here we have Elektra. Now, I was reading my brother's issues of that too, because this is 87 or 86, and he was still kind of buying this. I don't know if he bought any books after this, so he kind of in there, but it was only kind of in there and he bought Straight Toasters. I think he bought Straight Toasters, or at least looked at it, right? But for some reason, that shiny paper, so I was planning on buying, you see me buying all these books, trying to get Elektra Assassin, and I saw this stuff here, and I was like, I don't think I need to get it, because I really like Elektra Assassin on this type of paper. You hear me talk about paper, and in video, I don't know if it translates, but here we go. I mean, it really makes this stuff pop, right? And this shot here is one of my favorites. I think they use it for one of the covers. I think Frank Miller describes writing a plot out, or maybe possibly writing a full script, and Bill Sienkiewicz, keeping a small bit of the plot and doing whatever he wanted. So Frank lost it for a minute, then looked and saw he had this beautiful masterpiece in his hands, so he just kind of played to it, right? And then we got the covers, all right? So before image guys started giving everyone the huge monster guns, we had Byrne doing it, and what's that thing? And we had Elektra in Superman with Bloodsport, and we had Elektra sporting the huge guns in Elektra Assassin. Also the Punisher. So the image guys kind of went to that and kind of took it to the next level. This is another great one right here. Almost bought what's the name of that cover? Trade of that color, but I like it on this paper way better. Like, come on, like this, right? And then we have the Daredevil graphic novel, which I always felt should have been called a Kingpin graphic novel, right? And this sort of look was used for Into the Spider-Verse, which was way cool. And then we got some more covers. A Daredevil cover he did, a Punisher Word Journal. Are these Dazzler covers? They might be Dazzler covers. Oh, what else we got here? Getting to the tail end. Got another Dazzler cover, a Beauty and the Beast cover, a Power Man ad, a Wolfsbane art card, and that sort of thing. And there we go. All right. So, pretty sure my brother was going to see this, but, it's just funny to kind of get that angle. So you get a little bit of our childhood and our battles, because we couldn't really share artists or share comic books, but I could read his. Sometimes he would complain when I was reading his, because he was like, oh, see, you like it. It's much better than this type of deal. That would be the arguments we would have. So I guess that's about it. Sorry I was away for so long. Try to do some more videos. Spinner Rack is out.